Hello students, welcome to lecture 15 of our online chemistry classes. After solving the numericals based on various forms of integrated rate law equation and half-life period, in last class we started with the dependence of rate of reaction on temperature. In that we made one comment that if we increase the temperature by 10 degrees Celsius, the rate constant of reaction may increase by 2 to 3 times. We have one factor which measures it, because it should be measurable, then only its validity is more. Temperature coefficient we call it, which is the ratio of rate constant at given temperature to the rate constant at 10 degree lower temperature. And that happens to be 2 to 3. In some reaction it may be as high as 3. Then we started learning about this correlation between temperature and rate of reaction. We have used both theories, collision theory of chemical reaction and transition state theory, also called as activated complex theory. The reaction molecule has to be collided, but all collisions need not to result into product formation. Effective collision, molecules should be activated, properly oriented. Ineffective collisions, molecules are not either activated or they may not have proper orientation. They collide but they just bounce off. So that part we completed. Then we defined threshold energy, minimum energy the colliding molecule must have so that collisions between them are effective. Activation energy, it is the minimum extra energy absorbed by the normal reactant molecules so that they get activated and they form the product. So energy of normal reactant molecule plus activated energy, and that becomes equal to the threshold energy. We also use the transition state theory by taking example of H2 plus I2. There is a intermediate complex HI dot 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 means that bonds are forming. HH dot dot means that bond is weakening old bonds. The complex we call it as transition state, short-lived, unstable, highly energetic, decomposes into the product. Then we are looking into such type of diagrams and we are calling them as energy profile diagram. I have explained you how to read them. They are important because all the journey of energy profile, the reaction is plotted in this type of curves. So if we look at this particular profile, on the x-axis reaction coordinate, on the y-axis potential energy, this is the energy of reactant, activated complex, energy of product. This is the activation energy of forward reaction, activation energy of backward reaction. This is the delta H, enthalpy change, heat of reaction, Hp minus Hr. Hp is less than, because here we are plotting energies and Hp has lower value than Hr. So that's why it is negative, and this particular curve is for exothermic reaction. In exothermic reaction, activation energy of forward reaction, this much, is less than this activation energy of the backward reaction. If you look into this profile, this is of endothermic reaction, and in that endothermic reaction, again reaction coordinate on the y-axis, it is in x-axis is increasing in this direction, potential energy on y-axis, energy of reactant, activated complex, energy of product, the energy of reactant is enthalpy of reactant this point, product this point, Hp is greater than Hr, delta H is positive, endothermic reaction, and activation energy of forward reaction is greater now. This part is greater than this part, activation energy of backward reaction. So after this two graph, we have to look into this graph also. This is new thing for us. From today we start with this explanation. If we take the sample of the reactant, if it is in gaseous state, and if you plot their energies, fraction of molecules on the y-axis and kinetic energy on the x-axis. We have seen such type of graph last year in gaseous state. We call it as Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution curve. exactly same figure, and this we call it as the most probable velocity. Now we call it as most probable kinetic energy because we have plotted kinetic energy on the y-axis. What is most probable kinetic energy? It is the kinetic energy of maximum fraction of molecules. What is fraction of molecules? We have total number of molecules. Out of that, we have selected the number of molecules having energy E. So that equals to Ne by Nt. That ratio we have plotted on y-axis, and kinetic energy we have plotted on the x-axis, and we get this type of distribution. So this type of energy means maximum fraction has this intermediate energy. The higher energy, suppose this is the maximum energy, it is possessed by lower fraction, and this lower energy, that is also possessed by the lower fraction. So it is an average of how the energies are possessed by the molecule. Now we will use this graph and exactly understand how the increase in temperature by 10 degrees Celsius make changes into the rate of reaction. So I will rub this part. Yesterday I have told you to think over these two energy profiles, and you might have answered these questions. Yesterday I have put so many question marks. You might have identified those energies. Now what type of graph I am plotting now? Look at this graph because this is important. This we have to plot in the examination if question comes on it. We have to plot the kinetic energy on the x-axis and fraction of molecules. Same graph. Once we plot it for temperature Tk, and another we plot it for T plus 10K. This is the most probable kinetic energy at temperature Tk. This is most probable kinetic energy at temperature T plus 10K. Now in this graph, we have one energy, we call it as activation energy because activation energy is kinetic energy. The molecules acquire that and they becomes energetic. If this is at Tk, we found that these many molecules, they are activating because this is the molecules which are having energy greater than the activation energy. So what type of labelings we put here? See, the labeling is also important here. We write this as fraction of molecules having energies equal to or greater than activation energy. And at T plus 10K, how many molecules are passing that barrier? We can see this and we can write this as additional fraction of molecules having energies equal to or greater than activation energy. Means only this much fraction was initially energized molecule. We can calculate its area, say A, B, C, D. We just count the rectangles in the graph, that squares, how many squares are occupied by it. And this is A, E, and this is F, and this is D, like this one. So number of activated molecules at Tk, and if we compare number of activated molecules at T plus 10K, the number of activated molecules at T plus 10K is more, nearly 2 times. Even though in graph it doesn't look 2 times, but clearly it has been increased. So why increasing temperature by 10 K increases rate of reaction? In simple sentence we have to say that if you look at this diagram, the fraction of molecules having energy equal or greater than activation energy at T plus 10 K is 2 times of fraction of molecules having energy equal to or greater than A. So as the number of activated molecules are increasing 2 times, rate of reaction is increasing by 2 times. So why increase in temperature increases the rate of reaction? It is because increase in temperature increases rate of reaction because number of activated molecules increases by increasing the temperature. This is only the graph reflect. What I have said is just reflected by this graph. So when we plot this graph, we have to mention 2-3 sentences here because you have to write it for 2 marks. That's why we should be able to represent this. First you have to draw this diagram neatly, and what we have to say, when temperature increases by 10 degrees Celsius, which is nothing but equal to 10 K, 3 things happens. The first is the maximum of curve shifts to higher energy values. Higher energy values. Why we are saying so? Because this is the maximum of curve. And it is shift to what? Higher energy value. So it is increasing in this direction. The second point we can say that curve spreads to right. It spreads to right in this direction. Curve spreads to right such that there is greater proportion of molecules with higher energies, and lastly we can say that area under curve remains constant because we are not adding any molecule into that gaseous system, and we are not subtracting it. The same gaseous system at Tk and same gaseous system at T plus 10K. We are not adding any molecules, we are not taking any molecules. So area under this curve should remain constant. Now we have to write our last sentence. See what I am writing here. I may use this space, that fraction of molecules, I will write activated molecules now. Activated molecules at T plus 10K is 2 times of fraction of activated molecules at Tk. So there are 2 times. That's why you can say rate of reaction or rate constant. They may ask, they may use any word. You have to change that word according to question. Nearly doubles by increasing 10 degree Celsius temperature. So this is how we have to explain this particular graphical representation. Remember the type of words we are using. They are very technical words and we should use them very properly when we write the answer. We have to, this we can represent by understanding the concept and practicing it. These are the only two ways to prepare this question. So we have prepared this very important question. Why increasing by 10 degree temperature, rate of reaction increases by 2 times. We have to draw this graph, particular graph, and we have to write this sentence, and we have to just conclude this by this. No need to mention all these 3 sentences that I have written, because in MCQs they may ask which of the following statement is correct, which of the following statement is incorrect. In such question, these points are helpful. That's why I am writing them on the board, so that you will have a clear picture of what is happening in this particular factor, which is the temperature. Now we have to understand this factor mathematically. For that, we have an equation. We call it as Arrhenius equation. Very important equation for us once again, because many different type of questions will be asked on that equation, and we need to solve the numericals also based on that equation. So what we are learning now is the Arrhenius equation. The equation is K equals to A multiplied by e raised to minus Ca by RT. Now many times question has been asked, state Arrhenius equation and mention the terms into it. So you should know what we mean by K, A, Ea, R, T, e raised to minus A by RT, and E. So I will write here K equals to rate constant, A equals to, we call it as Arrhenius factor, because Arrhenius has given this equation, the A is used, or it is called as frequency factor, or it is also called as pre-exponential factor. Why it is called as pre-exponential factor? Because this is exponential factor and it comes before that. That's why it is pre-exponential factor. What is this E? It is the base of natural logarithm, and its value is 2.718. What is Ea? Ea is activation energy, R is gas constant, T is absolute temperature, and e raised to minus A by RT, this factor equals to fraction of molecules out of total molecules, fraction of molecules having energy, or we say fractions with energies equal to or greater than activation energy, and this is also called as Boltzmann factor. So this is the Arrhenius equation, and these are the various terms mentioned into it: rate constant of reaction, Arrhenius factor, frequency factor, pre-exponential factor, the base of natural logarithm, value is 2.718, activation energy, gas constant, in SI unit 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole, absolute temperature, e raised to minus A by RT is fraction of molecules having energies equal to or greater than activation energy, and this is the Boltzmann factor, also called as Boltzmann factor. Now I have to see the various forms of it. For that, I will write here, we will apply the natural log to both sides. So we can write this as the natural log of K natural log of A minus EA RT, because this is just like log A raised to B. Then what we can say, log B into log A. Log E is nothing but 1, so we have not mentioned that. We can rearrange this as EA by R 1 by T plus natural log of A. So this is one more important form of Arrhenius equation. We have to convert this to the base of 10. So we are writing this as 2.303 log K minus CA by R 1 by T plus 2.303 into log A. We have to divide this by 2.03. This 2.03 disappears, and what we have, log K equals to minus EA divided by 2.03 R 1 by T plus log A, like this. So this is the third form of this particular equation. Now we have to assume some more forms because they are all used in different calculations. See the next form which we are using now. We can take this as, we will just develop this equation. We say that natural log of K1 is rate constant at temperature T1, negative EA by R 1 by T1 plus natural log of A. A is constant, it won't change for a particular reaction. A is also constant for a particular reaction. Only variables are temperature and the rate constant. Then we can write this as negative EA by R 1 by T2 natural log of A. Natural log of K2 minus natural log of K1 is nothing but negative EA by R 1 by T2 plus natural log of A, and minus of minus this term because we are subtracting this log, natural log of K2 minus natural log of K1. EA by R 1 by T1 plus natural log of A. No need to remember all these derivations. What equations I am writing on square bracket, that are only important for you. This is nothing but natural log of K2 by K1 because this log A minus log B is log A by B. This is minus EA by R 1 by T2 natural log of A. This negative is positive. EA by R 1 by T1. This negative and positive becomes negative natural log of A. This positive natural log of A and negative natural log of A we can cancel. And we can write this as EA by R. We can make common here. 1 by T1. If we put this term here, 1 by T2. And we can write this, I will write final form here. The natural log of K2 by K1 equals to EA by R T1 into T2, T2 minus T1. This is the third form of equation we have obtained. We'll just convert that to the log to the base of 10 by multiplying 2.03. So 2.03 log to the base of 10 K2 by K1 equals to EA by R, and then T2 minus T1 by T1 into T2 Divide this by 2.03, so what we'll get here? Log of K2 by K1 equals to EA by 2.03 gas constant T2 minus T1, T1 into T2. This is one more form. So what is the use of this equation? There are two temperatures, T2 and T1, and two rate constant, K2 and K1. T2 is greater than T1, K2 is greater than K1. If we know these four terms, two temperature and two rate constant, activation energy can be calculated, because apart from this T1, T2, K1, K2, the two terms are 2.03, which is constant, and another is R, which is again the constant term. So these equations are very useful in the calculation of the activation energy of the reactant. So this is the first equation which you have to remember and understand what are the various terms into it. This is the second equation. If I number them like this, this is 1, because this equation only you have to remember. This equation 1, this equation 2, this equation 3, this equation 4, and this equation 5. Yes, one after on one equation only we have just modified this equation, and they are taking different forms. So these all equations are called as the Arrhenius equation, and we'll solve some numerical questions also in next class before after completing all this theory part. So whatever equations I have just numbered them, they are important. I hope you might have understood this equation, because this equation comes one after another in a gradually one equation leads to another equation. Now two equations out of these four are specially we have to look into. That is equation number 2, which is natural log of K equals to minus EA by R 1 by T and plus natural log of A. If we look at that equation carefully, we can say that this equation follows the straight line equation y is equal to mx plus c. So we can plot this graph. On the y-axis natural log of K, on the x-axis 1 by T, straight line equation, negative slope, and that slope equals to negative EA by R, and intercept equals to natural log of A. So this equation, we can convert this into the graphical form, because it follows the straight line equation. Another equation which are again converted into straight line equation is this one. I'll write this equation once again here. Log of K equals to minus EA by 2.03 1 by T plus log A. This is Y, this is M, this is X, this is C. So we can plot like this one. Log K on the y-axis and 1 by T on the x-axis. We get this negative slope. Slope equals to minus EA by 2.303. We can calculate activation energy actually from this graphical representation, because activation energy is nothing but slope into 2.303, negative of activation energy, slope into 2.303, and activation energy is nothing but negative into slope into 2.303. Slope is negative, so that negative and that negative sign becomes positive, and we get the value of activation energy in the positive term. So in that way this is important, and we can calculate the value of A also from this intercept, because this is intercept. Intercept is nothing but this form, log A. What is A then? A is nothing but antilog of intercept. So these graphical equations, representation, and how to read them, and which information is provided by the slope and intercept is very important, very crucial. You can see previous question papers, many MCQs are based on that. So this straight line equation, out of this 5 equations, 2 are there, and their graphical representation is also equally important. You have to practice them. The derivation, we cannot say derivation, it is just rearrangement. Previously we have done. So 5 equations of the 5 forms of Arrhenius equation, various terms involved into them, and 2 graphical representations, and for that graphical representation, slope and the intercept values should be known to you. Then only you will able to solve the questions based on this Arrhenius equation. Now after this Arrhenius equation, we have to look into one mathematical equation which is the result of collision theory. Not difficult to understand, but again equally important type of equation that is. So I will write here collision theory of chemical reactions. So there are 3-4 points regarding collision theory. Apart from collisions occurs, effective collision, ineffective collision criteria, all that we have learned initially. But apart from that, 2-3 points I am adding here which are equally important. This particular theory is based on kinetic theory of gases, is first point. And the second point is that theory assumes reactants as hard spheres and ignores their structural aspects, means their orientation, the kind of chemical bond they form, how they are three-dimensionally arranged. It ignores that aspect. In fact, this is the drawback of this theory, that it assumes the reactant molecules only hard spheres and ignores their structural aspects. For bimolecular elementary reaction, the theory gives one equation which is important for us. Rate of reaction is equal to P multiplied by ZAB multiplied by e raised to minus Ca by RT. This is the equation given by this collision theory. We will see one by one factors, components of it. P equals to, called as orientation factor. Theory considers the orientation of the molecules which are colliding, also called as probability factor, also called as steric factor, and this ZAV is nothing but collision frequency. It is directly proportional to root mean square velocity. We call it as RMS velocity, directly proportional to square root of temperature. And this probability factor, we can say it is independent of temperature, and it depends on temperature. And this e raised to minus Ca by RT, Again and again we are referring this. In Arrhenius equation also we mention this. We call it as Boltzmann factor, and also we said it is nothing but fraction of molecules having energy equal to or greater than activation energy. So this P is probability factor, steric factor, orientation factor. This Z is collision frequency. AB means these are the molecules AB involved into it, and e raised to minus A by RT is the Boltzmann factor, which is nothing but fraction of molecules having energy equal to or greater than activation energy. First we consider this P factor. What theory says? They have given very good example in our NCERT textbook that this is methyl bromide reacts with this OH negative ion and forms methanol, and this bromide ion is released. So when this OH negative ion approaches to methyl bromide, it can approach in two ways. Out of that, one way is proper. Proper means it results into product formation, and another is improper, means it does not result into product formation. Now look at the way which is proper way and which is not proper way. We all learned haloalkanes, so you might have understood this example there also, but try to understand here in this context. We have this methyl bromide molecule. The bromine is more electronegative, partial negative charge and partial positive charge, and there is OH negative ion expected to collide. There are two possibilities. One we call it as improper collision, another we call it as proper collision. Now, how the improper collision and proper collision looks like? We can say that this is methyl bromide molecule, and OH negative ion approaches from the same site of that of bromide ion, bromide part. It is negative, this also negative. So there will be repulsion between them. They collide, but they just bounce back, and that's why there is no products here. But if the same ion approaches from rear side, opposite side, there is possibility that this carbon may accommodate it. In fact, carbon prefers OH negative ions, and that's why products are formed, because OH negative ion is stronger nucleophile, and this bromide is a good leaving group that you know already. So this is the type of transitory state, and it may result into this type of product formation. So this is the proper collision, because the OH negative ion approaches from rear side of the negative ion. Just like progress report is given to you and you are getting less mark, so instead of facing father face to face, you want to go from mother's side, so that the impact will be minimum, damage will be minimum, like that. So these molecules, they have this type of collisions which may be in a proper way or which may be improper way. So theory says that this is very crucial in understanding the rate of reaction. Now this theory, last part in this theory is criteria for effective collisions. First is activation energy of molecules and proper orientation of molecules. So many times question has been asked for 2 marks. According to collision theory, what is the criteria for effective collision? Activation energy of course reactant molecules and proper orientation of reactant molecules. So you can add this word reactant here. Reactant molecules. Reactant because it is the reactant molecules only which are activated and which are colliding in a proper way. So these are the 3-4 points regarding the collision theory, its drawback, and how the orientation factor and the collision frequency and the fraction of molecules having energy equal to or greater than activation energy are important. Now I have to define collision frequency. Many times this question has been asked. Define collision frequency. So we can say number of collisions per second per unit volume of reaction mixture is called collision frequency. So collision frequency, that I have written this equation, you have to remember that equation. This collision frequency. Number of collisions per second per unit volume reaction mixture is called as collision frequency. So these are the only 3-4 important points regarding the collision theory. Now the next part is the actually last theoretical part is the effect of catalyst. That also question can be asked for 2 marks. Effect of catalyst on rate of reaction. Effect of catalyst on rate of reaction. Effect of catalyst on rate of reaction. Again I will write 3-4 important sentence here. Catalyst is substance which increases rate of reaction without itself undergoing chemical change. So take part in a reaction, but that catalyst itself won't get converted into new product. In fact, at the end, catalyst is regenerated. So catalyst is a substance which increases rate of reaction without itself undergoing chemical change. Example is 2 moles of potassium chlorate. Manganese dioxide is the catalyst used, and we get this decomposition product, potassium chloride and oxygen. This is the catalyst used. When we use this catalyst, the rate of reaction is increased, the reaction is accelerated, and we can carry out this reaction at lower temperature. This is very important industrially, because lower temperature means lower input of heat. Lower input of heat means it will reduce the investment cost considerably. So the catalyst use is very important. Then we can say next point is that if substance decreases rate of reaction, it is called inhibitor, or we also call it as negative catalyst. Some substances are used to decrease the rate of reaction. We call them as inhibitor. Action of catalyst. Action of catalyst can be explained on the basis of action of catalyst can be explained on the basis of transition state theory, or also called as activated complex theory. According to this theory, catalyst participates in reaction by forming temporary bonds with reactant, forming activated complex which decomposes into products. That activated complex decomposes into the product. So these are the 3-4 points initially. Definition: substance which increases rate of reaction without itself undergoing any chemical change. If decreases rate of reaction, called as inhibitor. Explained by transition state theory. Participate in the reaction by forming temporary bonds, and it forms activated complex, and that decomposes into the product. So one sentence and one graphical representation after that. I will explain in the next class, because it will take some time and unnecessarily the length of video will be increased. But you have to understand what we have learned in this particular class. Particularly, you have to practice the 5 forms of Arrhenius equation to graphical representation and every term which comes into the Arrhenius equation. Definition of activation energy, definition of threshold energy, and then definition of collision frequency. These are the important terms in today's lecture. We'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you for watching.